All right, guys, so escaping side control, Giancarlo. One of the biggest things that people mess up is they do this bridge and hip at the same time thing. What am I saying? Okay, Giancarlo's on top of me in side control, okay? And now look, not even my hand position. We'll get to hand position in a sec. But really just look at my legs here, okay? So they do this bridge and shrimp. So they're constantly, they're just doing this. And they think it's working, and then Giancarlo, he can just follow me the whole time. I'm like, and I can't figure out why, okay? So what I need to be doing, okay, in a basic way, okay, the most basic escape is I need to bridge over my shoulder of the arm that's in his hip, and then hip out from there. Now, depending on my hand position, when I'm here with this bicep style crossface, okay, or frame, I open my elbow, and then I bridge as I move his head across me. And now from this position, I hip out, and I make this knee and elbow connection. Once this knee and elbow connects, now I have some options. I can put a butterfly hook in, I can start to go to the clamp, or I can just frame, sit up, and now I'm back to my guard. So, one more time in a most basic way, okay, is I have 2 feet on the ground. You could do this from a regular frame as well. It doesn't matter. We're looking at this bicep frame and opening the elbow. I bridge, opening the elbow onto one shoulder, and then from that position I hip out and connect my right knee and elbow, butterfly hook, cross frame, and sit up. So, we're gonna continue with 2 more side control escapes in this video. One, a little more advanced version of the last one that we showed, and then 2, when you start to feel heavy head pressure, okay? Let's look at the more advanced version of the last escape that we looked at, okay? I generally, these days, don't like to have 2 feet on the ground, okay? Last week, we looked at this bridging from the, okay? Or last video, excuse me, we looked at this bridging position, okay? I like to take my knee, okay? And I got this from John's Side Control Escape DVDs. And I like to have my knee right near the pocket of his hip. You see this a lot, putting the foot on your knee, but that puts my knee in his rib cage area. And I don't want it there. I want it literally in the pocket of his hip, so that when now I go to make this bridging action, and as soon as I start moving away, look what happens. The knee starts slipping into this side guard position, okay? There's literally no time from the time that my hips start to move away that my knee starts to slide in. Whereas when we bridge with 2 feet on the ground, I have to bridge, and now on this hip out, there could be a little delay there because of the space between my knee and his hip. So we're just taking that knee and we're putting it right on the hip. Not so much worried about this. Look, because of the size difference between Giancarlo and I can kind of do it, but you might not be able to. The bridge is the same, opening the elbow, slide the knee in, and now here we are ready to go to work. So, last side control escape that we're going to look at is with heavy head pressure, okay? What I mean by this is when Giancarlo is holding my head really tightly so that I cannot perform an asymmetrical bridge. Let's understand the difference between symmetrical and asymmetrical, guys, without my partner first, okay? Every time we've escaped side control far, we've given an asymmetrical bridge, which means this knee in some way has been pointed out, like in the last video was on the hip, and now I bridge. It allows for this off-directional bridge, okay? With 2 feet on the ground, look, the knee out, asymmetrical bridge, knee touches the floor, it allows you to roll over, things like that, okay? Most of your escapes are going to want to be those types of bridges. But when the person has heavy head pressure, there's no way you can do that. So you're going to have to give a much more symmetrical bridge where the 2 shoulders stay down on the mat. Notice, asymmetrical, immediately one shoulder comes off. Symmetrical, 2 shoulders stay down. So, he's going to be a little nicer to me so I can still talk. But we're acting as though he's giving really heavy head pressure here. On these ones, I cannot have this hand in this position. So, if I'm here, if this is where I'm stuck, the first thing I'm going to have to do is give a little bridge so that I can bring my hand back into the space, okay, in between us. And now I'm gonna give a symmetrical bridge, straight over my head. Bridge. Once I have the pressure, okay, all of his weight in his left elbow and left knee, from this position I slide down. I move myself. And now I go right on the attack. My right knee is gonna shoot into the armpit as my left leg comes over. Most likely you're not gonna get this armbar. It will open up other attacks or right back to regard. So again, here we are. Heavy head pressure. You can give a little more pressure this time, Giancarlo, so they can see. Okay, look, bridge up, slide down. Knee in the armpit, leg over. He yanks the arm out. We can start to enter the legs or come back to the guard. And now we're sitting back up, ready to go. We are gonna look at some basic butterfly guard attacking. I'm seated up and he is on his knees. Where I never wanna be in this position is like this, okay? This is just god awful for me. He can hop up to his feet very easily, jump around. He can body lock past me, coming tight. There's a whole host of things he can do. So I have to make sure when I'm playing this position, swoop back a little bit, okay, that I'm up as well. And then I wanna get him touching me, okay? So I'm gonna be pushing, I'm gonna be grabbing his wrist. I need contact, okay? Let's look at the most basic way we're gonna attack. We're gonna grab an outside wrist position. Once I grab the outside wrist position, my other hand's gonna reach deep into the armpit. I don't wanna be reaching for the elbow. This is too shallow of a grip. I'm gonna reach deep into the armpit, cupping around the tricep. Now, here's the key. I'm gonna take his wrist and I'm gonna stuff it towards his crotch. As I stuff it towards his crotch, my leg hops out and I'm gonna come around towards the backside. Now look, here's where some discrepancy is. Marcelo Garcia grabs the hip. I will never tell Marcelo to not grab the hip. I'm just not fast enough. Okay, I don't spin around fast enough to the back. The Mendez brothers do. Giancarlo, you probably do, yes?
Probably.
Yeah, you know, but I can't. So I often like to go inside on this leg, okay? Not here, here. It allows us slower people to then be able to transition to the back and start taking the back if we want. Or if he starts to face me and hide his back, it allows me to run him over. So the first attack we're looking at, guys, is this arm drag. You'll have two options of finishing, right? I'm pushing, pulling, grab. Shoot deep in the armpit, hop the leg out, stuff the wrist into the crotch, slide, and here I am on the leg. Once I'm on the leg, I make choices. I'm either gonna get up and run him over, or I will come up to the back and start attacking from this position with my one hook in already. All right, guys, so one more attack off this butterfly guard position that we're gonna look at. Starting with the arm drag again, but my partner defends, okay? My partner defends and I need to go somewhere else. One of the most common ways, I'm gonna go on the other side, okay, is that when I grab the wrist, I go deep into the armpit, I start to drag, he steps this outside leg up so that I cannot outflank him, okay? But this is what I want, and it goes with the basic tenets of attacking. Look, upper body, didn't work. He defended with his lower body, so here I go. My hand in the armpit stays. My other hand drops down to his heel, and I'm gonna slide myself underneath so that I'm in my ashi position, okay? And now a lot of what happens depends on him. From here, if his head stays in this direction, okay, where it was, I have two options. I can enter in and start reaping the leg and then rolling through for an outside heel hook. Or you can also enter into the X guard, in which case you're gonna be getting up and looking at a very basic X guard sweep. If, again starting from the beginning, wrist, deep, start to drag and they step, okay? Notice, once I have his leg stepped up, as my hand touches the heel, my other foot's gonna slide into position. So if you see my left foot under here is hooked behind his butt, I'm not lazy here, okay? I'm gonna keep dragging and enter. If Giancarlo starts to rise, okay, roll up to your feet, and get in line with me, I'm gonna start ashi sweeping. And now from this position coming up, I can attack the heel from here, I can put my wedge in, slide up to the top, however you would like to finish from here. We all have different varying degrees of how we like to sweep. from our X-Guard or from our Ashi, but that's just a very basic entrance for you guys. So that's it, guys. So, guys, if you find this, first of all, Giancarlo, my man, thank you. If you find this video helpful, useful, 1, share it. 2, leave a comment. 3, I would love for you to subscribe to wherever you're watching this. TikTok, Instagram, my YouTube channel. Greatly appreciate it. So that's it, guys. Hope you're having a great day. Let's all get better at jiu-jitsu.